Alex Bowman has been making waves in NASCAR, and his performance at Homestead Miami Speedway is proof of that. He finished second in the race, marking his first top 5 finish of the season. But what stands out even more is that he already has 5 top 10 finishes, the most of any driver this season. This consistency has placed him third in the point standings, showing that he's a real contender. So, does that mean he's finally silencing the doubts and proving he can be a championship contender? Let's find out in today's episode. Jeff Gordon made it clear that the organization fully supports Alex Bowman. In his post-race comments, he reiterated that Bowman is their guy and that the team is confident in his abilities.
Yeah, I think what we've worked on the most is just making sure he knows he's got the support behind him. I think they've been searching for a little bit more depth in the team. I think that if you compare them to the Hendrick teams, when a team has the confidence that the organization is behind their moves and supporting them and the sponsors are there for them, it's hey. But I mean, there's the support on the inside too of what do you need? What not just Alex, Blake, the whole team. Go to Chad Knaus, Jeff Andrews, and just say, hey, what does this team need and what are they missing and how do we go get that for them, whether it's personnel, usually it's personnel, and then but beyond that, right, it's the noise that's been around some of the things there, and this is our guy, and we're happy to see them doing well.
Having the backing of Hendrick Motorsports is a big deal. It means that the organization believes in him, and when a driver knows they have that kind of support, it can boost their confidence on the track. One thing that stood out at Homestead was Bowman's attempt to run the same racing line as Kyle Larson in the closing laps. While he made a mistake and ultimately finished second, there's no shame in losing to one of the best. Larson is known for his skill at running the high line at Homestead, and very few drivers can match him. Bowman gave it a shot, which shows his determination. Bowman's contract with Hendrick Motorsports is believed to run through the 2026 season. That gives him time to continue improving and competing at a high level. He's shown that he can consistently finish in the top 10, and if he keeps this up, wins will come his way. NASCAR is all about momentum, and right now, Bowman seems to be building some. While Alex Bowman is proving his worth, Kyle Larson remains one of the biggest stars in NASCAR. His victory at Homestead was his first of the season and his 30th of his Cup Series career. Since joining Hendrick Motorsports in 2021, he's won 24 races. That's an incredible achievement in such a short period. After his win, Larson made an interesting comment. He said that if NASCAR still had the 2021 car, he would have 50 Cup wins by now. While that number is an estimate, there is some truth behind the words. The NextGen car has changed the way races play out. The car is harder to drive and has leveled the playing field, making it more difficult for any one driver to dominate. However, the NextGen car has made things more competitive. Smaller teams now have a better chance to compete, and the gap between the top teams and the mid-pack teams has shrunk. This has led to more variety in race winners. In 2022, there were 19 different winners in the Cup Series, something that would have been unheard of in previous years. Despite the challenges of the NextGen car, Hendrick Motorsports continues to be one of the top teams in NASCAR. They have the best engineers, the most resources, and access to the best data. Even with the car changes, they're still winning races. However, the competition is much closer than before. In the past, teams like Hendrick, Penske, and Joe Gibbs Racing dominated almost every race. Now, newer teams like Trackhouse Racing and 23XI Racing are winning multiple races each season. Chris Buescher, driving for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, has won 5 times with the NextGen car. Even smaller teams like Spire Motorsports have come close to winning. This proves that NASCAR's goal of creating more parity is working. Hendrick Motorsports is still one of the best teams, but it's not as easy to dominate as it used to be. The days of one driver winning 12 or more races in a season seem to be over. In the past, legends like Richard Petty could win 27 races in a single year. That would never happen today. The closest we've seen in modern times is Jimmy Johnson winning 5 straight championships from 2006 to 2010. Since then, NASCAR has made rule changes to prevent that kind of dominance. Kyle Larson deserves a lot of credit for continuing to win despite the challenges. He's shown that he can adapt to any car and still perform at a high level. His team at Hendrick Motorsports also deserves praise for finding ways to stay competitive. Winning 6 races last year, even with the field being closer than ever, is impressive. Bowman's best years date back to 2020 and 2021. In 2020, he made a deep playoff run, proving that he could compete at a high level. The following season, he secured 4 wins, further solidifying his talent. But things took a rough turn in 2022. A concussion cut his playoff run short, preventing him from showing his full potential. Then in 2023, he started the season strong, even leading the point standings at one point. But an unfortunate back injury from a sprint car crash derailed his momentum. He missed several weeks and never seemed to regain his form for the rest of the year. Despite these setbacks, Bowman has shown signs of improvement. Toward the end of the 2023 season, he looked like his old self again. He was more consistent, making strong finishes and showing flashes of the driver he was before his injury. This season, he's continued that progress, leading laps and contending for wins. His partnership with crew chief Blake Harris is also developing well. Harris, who was highly regarded for his work at Front Row Motorsports, is helping Bowman find the speed and consistency needed to compete at the highest level. One of Bowman's biggest challenges has been the strength of his teammates. Hendrick Motorsports is stacked with talent. William Byron has already made back-to-back Championship 4 appearances and won the Daytona 500. Kyle Larson is a past champion and remains one of the most dominant drivers on the track. Chase Elliott is a former Cup Series champion and the most popular driver in NASCAR. Compared to these big names, Bowman has sometimes seemed like the odd man out. Last season, he was the only Hendrick driver who failed to make the round of 8 in the playoffs. That naturally led to speculation about his future with the team. But Jeff Gordon has been vocal in his support of Bowman. He's made it clear that Hendrick Motorsports believes in him and sees him as part of their long-term plans. That kind of backing is crucial for a driver's confidence, and it seems to be showing in Bowman's performances. His run at Homestead was a perfect example of this. Historically, that track hasn't been one of his best, yet he led laps and was a legitimate contender for the win. That level of improvement suggests that he's turning a corner and could be a serious threat in the regular season championship battle. If Bowman and his team can keep up this level of performance, he might even become a Championship 4 contender. The key will be maintaining consistency and continuing to lead laps. Over the past couple of years, he's shown flashes of elite performance, but setbacks have kept him from reaching the next level. This season could be his best chance to yet make that final leap. Now, don't hesitate to comment down your thoughts on this. And while you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.